Greetings everyone. I am Kritis. My project is a movie recommendation engine, and Dr. Kundan is my supervisor for this project. I will give a quick recap of what I have done until now. Let's start with knowledge base engine. This is the simplest kind of recommendation engines. Recommendations are based on the user data and not on user preferences. User data like location, age group, language, and gender. The reason we need to do recommendation based on user data and not on user preference is because this type of recommendations are done only when our recommender system doesn't have the user preferences. This usually happens when a new user signs up. This type of problems are also known as cold start problem. A good example where we can see knowledge based engines in action would be YouTube. When we log in for the very first time or opens YouTube without signing in, uh, we get recommendations of video based on our location. So if the user is from India, YouTube will recommend trending videos from India, and if the user is from Japan, then it will get trending videos from Japan. Now I will demonstrate my implementation knowledge base engine. In my case, I have used locations as my only feature because using other features along with this will soon exhaust my movies dataset, given that I have only 7,000 movies in my dataset. And a quick note I would like to state here is there is no single instance in my whole project where I have used any external library available from the internet. All functionality is coded and implemented by me, except for some libraries to generate the movie dataset. Other than that, no external library had been used in my project. This is my code for knowledge-based engines, where I have given the location as the parameter. I have set it to India. If we run our code now, we will get popular titles aired in India along with the IMDb ratings. All the movies are arranged in the descending order of their IMDb ratings. If we change our location from India to, let's say, Russia, we run our code, we get three movies along with their descending IMDb rating. That's because we have only three Russian movies in our dataset. Next, we have content-based engine, and yes, it has the cold start problem. Unlike knowledge-based engine, its recommendations are tailor-made towards individual users. Let's see the working principles of it. Let's say we have a user who likes movie Toy Story and Turbo. These movies will make up our user's item profile, where item profile is just a set of movies that our user likes. Once the item profile is created, we need to extract out the properties or features of the movie, such as its genres. These genres or features will make up the user profile, where user profile is the collection of all the features of this movie our user liked. But one important point to note is not all the features available in the user profile are desirable by the user. For example, our user might not like comedy movies, but because our user liked the Toy Story movie, the comedy genre appeared in the user profile as a byproduct, but not desirable by the user. And of course, we can't remove this kind of problem. Then we will compare the genres with all the movies in the dataset, and we will recommend that movie which has the best possible match with the user profile. In our case, it will be the movie Cars since 3 out of 4 genre matches, which makes it the best possible match with the user profile, and which we of course recommend it back to the user. Now I will demonstrate my implementation of content-based engine. In my case, I have used genres as the only features. This is my code for content-based engine. Since the content-based engine require at least one movie to begin with, we have to pass a movie ID over here. Let's say we pass a movie ID from the movie dataset. Let's take this as an example, and we run the code. We will get recommendations of movies based on the reference movie of this one. We can see from the recommendations, most of the movie are uh, animated movies, and here it is not uh, arranged according to the descending order of the IMDb rating, because the movies here are arranged based on the decreasing order of the quotient similarity. The quotient similarity code is over here. Yes, this is my code for quotient similarity. The movie we have passed is also an animation movie. That's why we get recommendations of animated movies. Next, we have collaborative based engines. There are two variant or dual approaches to collaborative filtering: user to user and item to item collaborative filtering. Now you will see the user to user collaborative filtering. Let's say we have a user who likes Toy Story and Cars. The idea is to find other users who have watched and liked those same movies. We'll call them neighborhood of user, or simply the neighbors. Since this is a group of people, there will be definitely other movies which they have liked but not our user. And the only thing that remains is to find a movie to which everyone prefers and recommend it back to the user. Let's say the movie be Bolt. Since Bolt is the movie to which everyone prefers, we recommend it back to the user. That's how a user-to-user collaborative filtering works. Next, we have item-to-item collaborative filtering. The technique we have used in user-to-user collaborative filtering is given a user, we have to find a group of other users who are similar to our user, and we predict missing rating from this group for the user we started with. A dual approach to user-to-user collaborative filtering is item-to-item collaborative filtering. The idea is simple. Instead of starting with the user and finding similar user, we start with a movie, say M, and we find other movies similar to M. Then we estimate the rating for movie M based on the ratings of similar movies. Even though item-to-item collaborative filtering is a dual approach, but often in practice, it is seen that item-to-item outperforms user-to-user collaborative engines. Why would be that case? The answer is quite interesting. Movies are simpler than users. Mostly, movies belong to a small set of genres, whereas users have varied tastes. For example, a movie can be of, let's say, action genre or horror genre, but a user's taste can be diverse. They might like action genre and documentary genre simultaneously. So finding similar movies for action genre or horror genre is fairly easy and simple enough. On the other hand, finding similar user who like action genre and documentary genre is really difficult. Since finding such group of users is difficult, hence recommendations are drastically affected. Here is a utility matrix where the movies are in the rows, the users are in the columns, and the corresponding ratings are the elements of the matrix. Why am I showing this? Because there is some interesting analysis to be done in after few slides, for which a little recap is required. Now let's say we want to predict the rating of movie 1 for user 5, for which we at first compute the similarity of all the movies with respect to movie 1. We use centered cosine similarity as the similarity measure. For finding similarity, we have used users as the feature vector. The parameter which is of interest is mod, which is the number of movies for the neighborhood whose rating need to be considered for predicting the rating of a movie for a particular user. Here we have considered modern as 2. Hence we consider top 2 movies with the highest similarity rating for which the user 5 has rated. And we predict the rating based upon the formula in the slide. Now what's interesting here is what should be the value of mod n be chosen such that we get a minimum error in prediction. This graph is in between modern and RMSE error, where the modern is varied from 1 to 30 with unit steps. Now there are different colored curves in the slide. Each color represents different number of movies in the dataset. For example, the blue color curve, where the error calculation is done with different values of modern with only 250 movies in the dataset. Similarly, the red one represents for 200 movies, black is for 150 movies, and the green one is for 100 movies. For error calculation, initially we have divided the utility matrix into test rating and training ratings, where we have hidden the test ratings to the recommendation algorithm, and after rating predictions, we have tested it against the test rating, and the RMSE error is addressed. Now from the graph, clearly choosing n less than 5 will definitely result in relatively high error. If we watch carefully, all the curves exhibit one common behavior. At first, they have a very high error, but as we go beyond n equals to 5, the error decreases, and after a certain point, the error becomes minimum. Further increasing n, it saturates, and most of the time, the error saturates at n between 15 to 20. So we have a minima where error is presumably less. Now the question is, it is just that we did the experiment till n equals to 30. That's why we saw a saturation. What if at some higher values of n, the error further reduces and have a better minima than this? Well, the answer is it's not worth it. Using higher values of n for rating prediction will be computationally costly, given that in real life the number of movies in the users will be humongous. Even if we ignore the computational cost, finding large number of movies which a user had rated would be a very lousy assumption, because in real life, users users usually don't rate movies even after watching them. Finally, considering all the possible options for better prediction, the value of n should be between 5 to 20, because in this reason there is a notable decrease in the error and the computation cost is also minimum. Now that's all said, the experiment we did is the extreme case where to calculate the error we have hidden 50% of the users rating to the algorithm, which is not a realistic case. That's all for the collaborative filtering. Now I will demonstrate my implementation of this particular engine. I have used the item to item collaborative filtering. This is my code for collaborative filtering. Here we have to do a series of steps to complete the recommendation process. At first, we need to have a utility matrix where I have 20 users and 150 movies starting from 0 to 149. So we will do the rating prediction for user 1, and the missing ratings are represented as star. Since we have the utility matrix, we need to center the data at first. To do that, we will run this program, and once it is done, we need to set the n value, which is over in the collaborative filtering algorithm. As discussed previously, we will set it to some value between n between 5 to 20. Hence, I give the value 10, and after that, we will run the final implementation code. The numbers showing in the terminal means for this many movies, ratings have been predicted, and it will go from 0 to 149. So I will pause the video now, and I will resume it once it's over. Now the rating prediction process is completed. Now we will check out the ratings. So this is the utility matrix we started with, and here is the ratings we have predicted. You can see the missing ratings has been predicted over here, and this is for only user 1. Thank you.